Knock, knock. Hi,
Hi.
Hello.
You know that I'm Rana, and we talked some yesterday, and I said I'd be back today
Mhm.
if you needed to talk to me about Mackenzie and what's happening with her. So I just wanted to sort of check in with you, and you know that there's a hard decision that you have to make about taking her off life support.
Yes.
And I thought that we could just talk a bit about that today. But I also am just wanting to know a little bit more about how she is and how you think about her and how you've gotten to know her. Can you just tell me a little bit more about Mackenzie?
It almost seems like she might be a little bit of pain or just
She seems very
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Oh.
Like even with medication, like she's still in pain and just isn't very comfortable. Like she's still hurting and
You're thinking that right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you see that might be different from what you've seen before when you thought she was comfortable?
Just
Maybe
I don't
some
know.
grimacing in her
Yeah.
face?
yeah, just
Not as still?
right. More
Mm.
kind of
Moving around.
Moving,
more,
yeah,
just,
Yeah.
just the uncomfortable look.
Looks like she is.
Yeah.
and in her face and
Yeah. Those are very important observations to make as her parents, because you've seen her now for, a few days all the
Yeah.
time. So here's what I'm thinking, because that's so important to you, to have her comfortable. I'm wondering if we should take care of that now before we talk any more about life support and what you want to do and how you want to do it.
okay.
Does that seem reasonable? I can see in both of your faces that that's really an important matter for you right
Yeah,
now,
it
is to
is.
make sure she's comfortable.
Mhm.
So if it's okay with you, I'll go out now and talk with her nurse
Okay.
and let her know that, and then or you can come with me, whatever you'd rather do. Do you just soon stay here, or do you want to come
Yeah.
along?
I think
yeah,
You wanna
so,
stay-
yeah.
just
okay.
stay there.
So I'll go out and let her know.
Okay.
And then she'll either take care of it right now or she'll come in and talk to you. And that
Okay.
way we can sort of move forward with making some plans, but you don't have to be wondering
Okay.
how
That
she's
sounds
doing.
good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. So part of my role with you today is to walk you through some of how this might go
Okay.
and help you think about the decisions. But what you just need to know is that you don't have to make them right away. You
Okay.
can still be
Okay.
thinking, so no pressure about that. So the holding. Would you like me to tell you a little bit about how it could go when the tube is taken out? Are you
Yeah,
ready to
'cause
hear?
Yeah.
Ready to hear that?
I don't know what to expect.
Sure. It's all new and a very sad situation. You never dreamed you'd be in this position as parents. And I know you have other children too,
Yeah.
and we'll talk more about them
Okay.
too. So this is your only daughter.
It is.
Mackenzie is your only daughter. You've been waiting a while for her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The goodbyes are really important, and how it's done. And we spend a lot of time with parents when they have a baby in the NICU who's going to die, talking about how that might go, because we feel like you have no way of knowing. How do you prepare for something that you've had no experience with? You need to rely on us to kind of help you with that. So one of the things that you can do is you can be holding her when the tube comes out. Or if you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to. You can be there without holding her. Somebody else could hold her. The actual taking the tube out doesn't take very long. So, as I said before, she's going to be well medicated, so she'll have her pain under control.
Okay.
And so sometimes parents want to be in a certain chair, or they want to have certain things there with them. I know you brought some things today. because I asked you to bring some special things. How had you thought about using these with Mackenzie? What did you want to do?
I'm not sure.
Something to comfort her with, and to have use the blanket to wrap her in.
Okay.
And as we're holding her, I think I see myself as wanting to hold her.
Okay. And how about you, Tim? What did you...
I see myself also wanting to hold her, or at least be touching her, or something.
You know, I'm thinking if both of you would like to be close to her during that time, one of the things that we do sometimes is bring in more like an adult bed, so that you could both be with her, but you could both be lying down, she could be between you.
Okay.
So that's, if you think you would like that, rather than sitting up where one of you would be holding her. Or, of course, you can also one hold her for a little while and then give her to the other one.
Okay.
But if lying down and being with her that way seems like something you'd like to do, we can definitely do that. Sometimes parents want to know exactly what's going to happen after the tube comes out. And I didn't know if you had more questions about that or not ready for that right now.
I guess I never really even thought about that.
Has anybody talked to you about her dying, her actual dying, and how long it would take and that sort of thing?
No.
Would you like to know a little bit about the possibilities? Do you feel ready?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
You're not so sure, or it's
it's just it's hard to think about it.
It is. It's very hard to think about it. I'll go with some of the things that parents have asked in the past, because it's hard to know what to ask. You just don't know what to ask. One of the things that sometimes babies, now she has neck, she's had surgery, and there isn't really any way of knowing for sure how long she'll live. She might die right away, right after the tube comes out, meaning seconds, minutes, or she might last a little longer than that. Have you had any experience with an adult who died, or is this your first experience with?
My grandfather died when I was little.
Yeah,
but I was
don't really
protected
remember
from it somewhat. So
sometimes she might take little gasps, and then it becomes longer between them. That's typically how it goes. But I don't know how long, and I wouldn't want to tell you. But the thing that's so important for you is you will not be alone unless you want to be. And she will be medicated. We will be paying attention to what her symptoms are.
Okay.
And any kind of comfort that you two decide you want to give her during that time, holding, skin to skin. I know you did a little of that right after she was born, and you enjoyed it. I know you both got to do that, and you can definitely do that again.
Okay.
Before the tube comes out and after.
Okay.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask a few other questions? Again, things that you might not have thought about.
Okay.
Typically, we have a chaplain available to families, and I'm just thinking that the chaplain would be a good resource for you. What is your thought about that?
I think that sounds okay.
A prayer, something. We're not real religious, but I mean,
we attend a church, but not that we would feel comfortable with that pastor necessarily. So I think the chaplain would be a good idea. Would they be able to do a baptism for her?
Definitely. definitely. So it does sound like I'll call her right away
Okay.
so she can come up and meet with you and talk about that.
Okay.
Because that can be a really important ritual to do. And you may want other people.
Yeah, if
or-
we could have our parents.
Yeah.
His
Yes.
mom and my mom and
Definitely.
dad and stepmom and the boys involved in it as well, that would be nice.
And she'll plan it with you, so
Okay.
it can be very special.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
that's-
that we talked about that. The other thing, that the chaplain, if you can think about a chaplain as being more spiritual, that having to do with hope and suffering, and rather than religious, rather than having to do with any particular religion,
Right.
I think that we've found that a chaplain can be, the presence of a chaplain at a time like this can just feel right. And so it might be that way for you. So, getting to know her will help. The other thing that the chaplain often does is really can create a very meaningful relationship with your children. So I think that for them too, it would be good if she were here.
Yeah.
So I'll
I
let
think so.
her know. Yeah.
Answer
good.
some more of their questions or
Uh-huh.
kind of guide them a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah.
good.